Welcome to the series where I test out money-making methods from the OSRS Wiki. Feel free to leave suggestions on which moneymaker you'd like to see next. And also, if you didn't already know, I have a nice playlist that I've created that has all of the previous moneymakers that I've already tried, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's video, we will be going ahead and cooking some raw Karambwan. And I know this has been requested quite a bit in the past. There was also a request for fishing the Karambwan, but there isn't a entry on the OSRS Wiki for that. And even though there's not, I was still going to make a video on it, but unfortunately the prices of raw Karambwan aren't very high right now. So the profits aren't as high as they could be, but who knows, maybe eventually I'll still do a video on that in the future. Now, like most moneymakers that involve cooking, it is a very AFK moneymaker, but you can actually speed up the cooking process through more effort and make a little bit more money, which I won't be doing in this video. I may show you how it's done or an example of it, but for the entire 1 hour, I will be doing it the AFK way. And ultimately, I decided to do it this way because I don't really think it's worth it to put in the extra effort for the amount of money that you get, but who knows, you might find it different. I know I did a video before in the past where I was hunting red chins and I was using tick manipulation to catch a couple more, and some people didn't like that I was doing that because they didn't want to, I guess, have to put in the extra effort, but by no means do you have to do that. You can do it either way, go the AFK route, or put in some more effort to get a little bit more money. It's up to you. Now, as for the area that I'm going to be cooking in, I'm going to be using the Myths Guild since there is a bank and a range right next to each other. There are a bunch of different options that you can use, however, and I will go over them throughout this video. The other options will be a lot easier to get into since this area does require Dragon Slayer 2 to be done, so yeah. Now, as for the gear setup, you really don't need anything specific. I'm just wearing my Graceful because I'm always wearing that. I'm always running around RuneScape and it is very helpful to have, but you can wear whatever you want. Wear your best Fashionscape. Really, the only item that I recommend you bring, if you have it, is the cooking cape or a max cape. And the reason for this is because when you have a cooking cape, you can no longer burn any of the food that you cook, which is going to be very important for this moneymaker since if you burn food, you're obviously going to lose out on profits. And even though the cooking requirement for these Karambwan is fairly low at level 30, 90 plus is recommended because anything under that, you'll be burning a lot of it and your profits will be a lot lower. So if you do happen to have that, then make sure you bring it. If not, you can use the Hesidious Kitchen to help you out. I believe using the kitchen there actually gives you a better chance of not burning stuff. And that's pretty much it. As far as your inventory goes, you're just going to be, of course, getting the raw Karambwans. And I am using bank fillers to make banking a little bit easier. And if you really wanted to, you can put screen markers on there and mark where the deposit inventory button is. Like I said before, this moneymaker is very AFK. It's very minimal clicks for the amount of XP and money you'll be getting. I actually forgot how fast cooking XP was. If I ever go for a 200 mil, cooking might be the one because it's, again, very AFK and you get a lot of XP. Currently, we're getting 190 cooking XP per Karambwan. And if this is too AFK for you, which I don't see why it would be, more than likely you're only going to be doing this moneymaker if you want something that's AFK. But if you're looking to get like maximum cooking experience, then of course you can do the faster method of cooking these Karambwan, although it will take a little bit more effort. Now, when you first cook the Karambwan, it'll give you two options. You can either make them into regular cooked Karambwan or the poison Karambwan, and you obviously do not want to make the poison Karambwan. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure you select the second option. So if you want to use shortcuts, you can either hit the 2 or you can hit spacebar after your first inventory because spacebar will remember your last option that you chose, which was a nice quality of life update that wasn't too long ago. And as far as shortcuts go, you can also use the escape key to close the bank interface. Now with these shortcuts and paying fairly good attention to this, you can definitely get a lot more Karambwans cooked than the wiki suggested. I believe the wiki was showing 1300 and we were able to cook quite a few more than that And I'm pretty sure that I wasn't doing this perfectly. I'm sure that there were a couple inventories where I clicked a little late, but still, you can definitely cook a lot more than what it says. But who knows, they might be taking into consideration the fact that you might not be 99 cooking, so that you're probably burning some of them. But with 99 cooking or close to it, you should be getting a fairly nice amount. Now earlier I did mention different areas that you can cook at, and here is a nice little chart that shows you at what levels you stop burning certain foods. So if we take a look at the cooked Karambwan, if you're cooking on a fire, you need 99 to stop burning. So you definitely don't want to be cooking on that if you're not 99. If you cook on a range, it says you need 97 plus. If you cook in Lumbridge Castle, it's 94. I believe this is the range that you get access to after you complete the quest Cook's Assistant, which is a very fast quest, so you should have access to it. And then if you cook in Hasidius, you can see you get a nice 5% boost there, and the level is 93. Now I was going to check to see what effect the cooking gauntlets had on the Karambwan, but unfortunately they don't work on the Karambwan. I didn't know this. I thought that they worked on every piece of food that you can cook, but apparently they only work on lobsters, swordfish, monkfish, sharks, and anglerfish, which again, I did use these while I was grinding to 99, and I did do most of my cooking in Hasidius Kitchen so that the burn rate was a lot lower. I also did it the safe way, where I only cooked food that I was 100% guaranteed to not burn, and this was just because I didn't really have a lot of money back then and I didn't really want to lose a lot of money. I kind of wanted to make some passive income while I was grinding the cooking. Now of course this really isn't optimal, because you're better off just doing the fastest cooking method possible and then using that extra time that you saved to actually go and do some PVM moneymakers, like certain bosses like Vorkath or Zora. But me, I was still a noob back then and I thought it was the best route to go. More than likely, if I do decide to go for 200 mil cooking XP, I'll probably do wines since it is the fastest, even though it is kind of expensive and you do lose money. But with the time saved going wines instead of cooking some other fish, I can potentially make a lot more money doing Vorkath or Zora or just any other PVM boss. Currently, I do have a pretty big amount of cooking XP, and that's not from... It's not really post 99 training. I think most of it is actually from Sacred Eels, me grinding for 99 fishing and then going for the pet. So that's nice. Not only do I get fishing XP, but I do get some decent cooking XP. And here we are, we have finished our 1 hour and we managed to cook 1459 Karambwans for a total price loot of around 800k. So not bad at all. We can now, of course, go to the GE and put the Karambwans in there. I'm going to put them in there for 549 because I did do a price check and I figured that was the best price I could get them for. And not even 5 minutes later, they did sell, so you could possibly get even a little bit more if you are patient enough. And yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised. I, again, forgot how fast cooking was, and honestly, if you're a little bit strapped for cash, you can definitely train cooking and get some nice money in the process. It definitely helps that it is one of the more easier skills to train, so give it a shot. But now we can go ahead and calculate how much total money we made from this 1 hour. So if we take into account the cost of the raw Karambwans, we get 582,141 GP. We subtract that from the total amount of money that we made, which was 800,991 GP. We get a grand total profit of 218,850 GP from 1 hour of AFK Karambwans. And again, we did manage to make more than what the wiki initially told us in the beginning, because we did happen to cook more than 1300. But I did adjust the final profit here, as you can see, for 1459, and they are pretty close together. And also here is a look at the nice amount of cooking XP that we got, 277,000 cooking XP from 1 hour of a very chill training method. We also managed to break 450 million total XP, so that was also a nice little milestone to hit. I just want to say thanks for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and possibly a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.